So obviously today we're back at Scott High School, a place that you know very well. When you look around at the school and these halls and the field house, what is the one thing that you really remember from your time here at Scott?
I remember winning the basketball championships, the City League championships. I was just looking at my pictures here in the field house, and it brought back great memories in 1974, 75. You know, our junior year, we ended up winning the City League title, going on to Columbus, and got upset in the semifinals and lost to Canton McKinley by 2. And then I came back my senior year and we won the City League championship, and we go to the district finals and lose out to Maycomer and the All-NBA player Kelvin Ramsey. So looking at these halls and walking the halls of Scott High School bring back great memories.
How do you think your time playing for Scott helped prepare you to go on to play at Kentucky and then eventually in the NBA?
Well, going back to Coach Williams, he prepared me for any kind of situation that I was faced with, going to Kentucky and playing big-time basketball, because he prepared us here at Scott as far as preparation, practicing, playing good defense, team basketball, and we were champions. So Kentucky was always known for their basketball and winning championships, and that's what I wanted to do. Winning the national championship was always my goal, watching UCLA when I was a young kid and knowing Kentucky basketball history and the tradition. So they was my #1 choice once they started recruiting.
Being that kid from Ashland, Kentucky, getting to win a national championship for the University of Kentucky, fulfilling that dream of yours, what was that moment like when you were standing on the court celebrating with your teammates?
It was unbelievable, because I'm still celebrating to this day, you know. Just thinking back about winning the championship, it was one of my ultimate goals coming out of high school. But, you know, after all these years, I'm still, when March comes around, my God, I get goosebumps thinking about March Madness and how we won the championship. And we've been having reunions for every 5 years since we won it, for our 40th year anniversary. And one of the sportscasters came up and said, "Don't you know you were the first African American to ever play at the University of Kentucky from out of state?" Now, I got a teammate that I played with, Reggie Warford, was the second African American to ever play at the University of Kentucky behind Tom Payne. But he just brought that up, and nobody ever talks about that I was the first one to play at the University of Kentucky from out of state. And come to find out, Leonard Hamilton was the one that recruited me.
Your basketball career didn't end in college. You went on to be drafted in the NBA. What was that transition like for you?
Well, getting drafted by the NBA and not sticking, you know, I got drafted by Detroit Pistons, and a lot of people don't know Dick Vitale is the one that drafted me. And he also recruited me in high school to go to University of Detroit, because when I was in high school, he was the head basketball coach at U of D. And he ended up drafting me, and I ended up getting cut by him. And then my second year, I tried out for the Philadelphia 76ers, and it didn't work out that way, and then I had to get a real job. And, you know, I've been successful over the years, and I'm happy for my decision going to Kentucky, getting drafted, and getting into officiating basketball. So basketball has been great to me all my whole life.
I think you're looking at my list of questions because you keep leading me into the next ones. You mentioned officiating. How did you get involved in officiating?
Well, it was a guy that used to officiate my basketball games when I was in high school. His name was Whitey Hefner. He was like my mentor. He kept asking me, "You'd be a good referee. Won't you try it?" You know, I said, "Oh no." I looked at the fans, how they were treating people. And then finally I got into it and I liked it. And it was a different transition because, you know, I was thinking like a basketball player instead of thinking like a referee. He would always say, "You got to think like a referee, you know, get in angles and make the right call, not get upset if you miss one." So, you know, I really got into it, and it's been 29 years.
Have you ever stopped to think about how, I guess this is kind of really your third chapter now of basketball and what it's given to you, and to be able to extend your career in this way and also impact the careers of the next generation through officiating?
Well, you know, just being around young people has kept me young. And I really enjoy Friday nights and Saturdays, being in the locker room, being around the players, the coaches. You know, I've had a great career as officiating. I was just inducted into the Ohio Officiating Hall of Fame, and my career has been great. I wouldn't even trade it for all the years of me wanting to go to the NBA, but I wouldn't trade my career for anything.
Obviously, basketball, not just something that was big for you. It also runs in your family. Your grandson, recently we got to see play for Word of God, play at Central Catholic. What sense of pride does it give you to watch him compete?
I was a very proud grandfather that night. You know, even though they lost the game, but he showed up and played very well, handled himself like a champion. You know, I was a very proud grandfather that night, and you know, I was very emotional. My whole family was there. His great-grandfather, great-grandmother was there. So he had a lot of family, a lot of pressure was on him that night, and he played well.
And all the things that you've accomplished and what you did for Scott and going on to the next level, what would you like your legacy to be for the kids here at Scott coming through and, you know, the kids back in Ashland, Kentucky that are dreaming of playing at that next level?
Well, just realizing that you can go to school free. And be a good person, have a great attitude, and go on with your life and be successful. You can be successful in anything that you set out to be. You don't have to be a football player, a basketball player. You can go on and be anything you want to be.
What comes next in your career?
I don't know. It's not going to be retirement. They always say you retire, but I want to continue on just living my life and having fun. I don't know how long I'm going to be refereeing, but after 29 years, I might try to get 30.
Brought to you locally by Dale Riggs Funeral Home. Funerals as unique as your life.